Welcome everyone to Gutterball Frame 56 coming at you on a Thursday afternoon. Paul's feeling real good tonight. I'm feeling even better. We got a great cast, great list of topics coming at you. Paul, how you doing? How's
Uh,
how you feeling?
I'm doing all right. I'll get into it probably later towards the end of the show, but I'm currently on like a surgery recovery. I had surgery a couple days ago. I'm currently on prescribed items that you
Legal?
ingest legally.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Doing good. Having a good time. How you doing,
Wonderful. We're,
Jack?
we're popping pills over here and smoking dope. What the fuck are you doing? You're fucking up. It's Thursday afternoon. You're fucked, man. You're ruined. I'm great, Paul. I'm doing fucking awesome this week. It's been a little bit of a struggle, but we're getting back to the swing of things. I don't know if you guys noticed, but shorts have been lacking a little bit. I intend to turn that around this week. I took about a week off, just a little bit of a
Take a little
breather,
vacation.
kind of see where I'm at with them. But one's coming out today, so y'all should see that actually in 1 minute. It's coming out exactly 1 minute from this recording, so that's kind of neat. But real quick, we're gonna start with this new thing. We did it last week. We're doing it again. Jack's quote of the week. I'm gonna pick a song that kind of resonates with me throughout that week, and find a quote from there that I can tell y'all, and maybe it'll help you. I don't know, think about life a little differently. You know what I'm saying? So I got one. I don't know what I did last week, but it wasn't Rush. So we're doing a Rush one. It is Mission from Hold Your Fire 1987. It is a very good song. Check that one out. Rush Mission from Hold Your Fire. It is, here's the quote. Spirits fly on dangerous missions, imaginations on fire, focused high on soaring ambitions, consumed in a single desire. Now that just deals a lot with like dreams and just the way it's framed and the metaphors that Neil Peart uses are really cool. And I thought that was a really good quote. And it the whole entire week I was like, yeah, this is what gets me going right
Yeah.
here. So hopefully it gets y'all going.
Neil
But
Peart was the drummer, and he wrote a lot of the
Peart.
songs, right?
Oh yeah, he wrote damn near all of them, Neil Peart. But obviously it's
Peart.
Peart with ear. So think P with ear and T. Peart. He is Canadian. Remember that. Be respectful to Dead. I'm just kidding. Undefeated deck. That's a little snobby Rush thing we'll do. We're like, but it's Peart, so don't fuck it up, man. No, but obviously with writing music, the singer Getty has a little bit of say, because if he can't say that particular word in that like fashion, or singing it, he's not going to say it. But for the most part, yeah, he wrote all of it, which is usually unheard of. A drummer writing the lyrics. Name one other band, really never happened. But yeah, no, Rush is awesome. It's good stuff. I love that quote. Very, very cool. I want to talk about something that just came up in the news, and I was really kind of like taken away, a little baffled, but I'm still kind of wrap my head around like how I feel about it. It is Minnesota now no longer requires proof of U.S. citizenship for a license, a driver's license, a Class D. So now illegal immigrants who are not officially registered in the United States are able to get a driver's license in the United States. In my first,
In
excuse me, in
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, in Minnesota, United States. My bad. Very different. In Minnesota, and I don't know. I think it's a good and a bad thing, but the first thing I checked was, can immigrants get car insurance? Because all I want to know is if they are insurance. And like, yes, they can. So I'm like, eh, we might be all right. But at the same time, I don't know how I feel about undocumented immigrants getting licenses. But Florida has taken a double stance on that. And now if you drive into Florida with a Minnesota license, or from Delaware, I believe, or
Oh,
Colorado,
that's right.
where this is enforced, Florida now has the right to pull you over and make sure that you are a U.S. citizen. And if you're not, like, they can like fine you and stuff. So as far as I read it, is if you're in these states, I can't remember all, I think it was Delaware, Connecticut, something like that, and definitely
They'll
Minnesota.
probably
If you drive
deport
down
you.
there, would they? I thought they would just give you a ticket, is what I read.
Oh, okay.
But they
Well,
do. It does give. Maybe it will. That was my first thought. Was, oh, this is just a ploy to deport them. They're like, hey, see, I come for the free insurance, and they're like, oh, I got you. Whatever the deportation agents like, yeah, come right down this hallway. They take them away.
it's
They're like, all right,
horrible.
buddy, out of here. That's a good way to weed them out. Honestly, I would do that. It's not a bad U.S. like system. It works. Get them all fooled. But no, I thought that was very interesting. Paul, what do you think about that? It's yay or a nay for that one.
I don't think we should be giving anybody a license that can't prove they're a United States citizen. That's just me.
That's what I'm saying. No, I agree wholeheartedly with that. I guess it's better than them not having a
Like,
license,
think
but
about it. if you plan on getting a license, you typically plan on staying where you're at for quite some time, right?
Mm-hmm.
They should either, I don't
Yeah.
know, they need to be like, maybe if there's some way to determine if they're somehow in the process of being a citizen, because it takes a while. But
Mm-hmm.
if they're not at a certain, I just say like no, just
Yeah.
no at all. Like, and then
In
once you're a
Florida.
citizen, sure, you can get it, but that's just me.
Yeah, and Florida is right on the money for shutting that shit down where it stands. But I just thought it was very interesting to see Minnesota do this, and then Florida a day later is like, "Oh, hold there, little buddy. If you do that in our state, you're out of here." And I could very well see more states following in suit behind that. But that was just something very interesting to me that I saw locally. I was like, huh, how will this affect me? As long as they have
100%.
insurance, I guess, and
Yeah.
as long as they're gonna pay me. But still, I guess I don't super agree with it.
I would like to remind everybody real quick to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to be a guest on the show, please email us at gutterballbusiness@gmail.com, or just comment on the video saying, hey, I wanna come on the show, and we'll figure out a way to get in contact with you. But yeah, Jackson,
Ooh, my bad. That was highlighted. I
it's
was
okay.
supposed to say that.
It's okay. I just watched the original John Carpenter's The Thing last night
Wonderful.
for the first time. Really cool practical effects, spooky like idea. Like it was actually like honestly like filmed like like some older movies are just it's either the camera or they're filmed in a certain way where it's got that natural ambiance of creepy where like maybe there's not a ton
Hmm.
of creepy lighting, but it's just like the way it's filmed or like the filmography or like how the camera is just it's different. It gives this weird kind of feel to it, like edgy, like eerie feel. That movie had all of that. So
Hmm.
Kurt Russell's great in it. The ending, it's like do they freeze to death? Is one of them
Oh,
like it's
one of them was definitely it, and it wasn't Kurt Russell. I will say that it was the other dude. I
you
can't
know
remember his
you
name,
don't
but
think
it
it
was black.
was?
Oh, it was him.
Did they
I know
ever
it was him.
explain McCready's ripped up jacket though?
I see. I got super into that like when I was in middle school, and then more into high school later, and then I just stopped. So I don't remember the lore, but I was very deeply invested into it. So I did remember. But all I remember is that fucking black guy at the end. He couldn't be trusted. He was fucked. He was a thing. He was a monster. Not literally because he's black, just because he was a monster. That guy was gonna eat you. 100%.
Childs,
And
yeah.
yeah, no, it was a classic case of who done it. You don't even realize it. Who done it? No, it's a good movie. It's Among Us, just original Among Us, the first
Still,
one.
yeah, it's basically yeah. So I was gonna say is I literally said that last night. I'm like, this is just Among Us, but
Among Us.
also like,
Among Us.
yeah, but also like, or they could have just both been cool and they've just froze to death. But I don't buy that dude not being able to find him or something.
Nope, I don't buy it. One of them, it was definitely not Kurt Russell.
Yeah,
Trust him. No, but the monsters in that are really cool. All the practical effects and the puppets, you just don't see that anymore. Honestly, if it cost more and it took longer, I wish they could just use that formula again. Practical puppets with a little CGI mixed in, but not much. There's something special about that. Just how cool it looks.
yeah. It's
Little head spider.
like it's just like it reminds me of like Evil Dead's like the original's practical effects. Some of them are so bad, but like it was
Yeah.
cool. Like the
Well, yeah, because what they had a budget of like $700 for
yeah,
that
yeah.
movie.
But they're like it's like melting stop motion Play-Doh
Mhm.
almost in
Oh
one
yeah,
scene, it looks like, and you're just like, what the hell? Like
still horrifying.
yeah.
Still,
Well,
still a
again,
terrifying
another
movie.
case, well, lighting was used really well in that movie, but another case of just creepy filmography, just eerie, silent most parts except
Yeah.
for yeah.
That was one of the first movies that when I grew up a little bit that I understood and really, really creeped me out. I don't like the idea of that person under the cellar the whole time trying to get up. That shit it still scares me to this day.
The
But
book made of human flesh.
yeah, the Necronomicon. That thing's
Yeah.
sick, dude. I would own one of those. It'd be really cool. But yeah.
Get that
I don't
thing out
know.
of my house if it's made out of
That
human
that
skin.
probably wouldn't be good to have in your house. I was gonna say I might just cause more trouble than it's worth.
If you found a book made of human skin, you don't even
Would
touch
you know
it
what's human skin?
because you
Would you-
can't.
I
Even if
guess.
it's made out of anything. What?
Perfect. Speaking of human skin, I got another topic about that. Continue though. We'll talk about that.
Gonna
Anything
say,
made out of human skin, you
We
don't touch.
we know now that if something like that exists, just from simply a movie standpoint, You can't burn it. You can't destroy it. It doesn't go away. You just leave it. You see something like that, you walk away, you leave.
I'm washing my hands. I'm out. Dude, it's like, nope. Just, nope. I'm out. I'm not doing this.
Yep.
Nope, not worth it.
Exactly. No.
Honestly. Yeah, stay the hell away from that. Speaking of stolen body parts, though.
Stolen.
A stolen body part. A man. Okay, this is from Scripps News. I'm not sure the validity of this, but I'm gonna trust it because I found it on Reddit. So don't worry about it. Man decorated home with stolen body parts. A bizarre scheme. It's a good way to word it. I would just word it in. Man literally has body parts hanging in his home. This guy's a psychopath. I don't know how bizarre scheme falls into there.
Whose body parts?
But, inside a Kentucky man's apartment, authorities found approximately 40 human skulls, spinal cords, femurs, and hip bones. So you got all those going in there. A Kentucky man connected to a nationwide stolen body part scheme decorated his home with human remains, according to a federal indictment obtained by Court TV.
Probably fucking stinks in there.
On July 11th, he replied, "Only my dead friends were inside." Approximately 40 human skulls, spinal cords, femurs, and hip bones. An indictment. Multiple firearms and ammunition were also found. Well, yeah.
It stinks in there.
He stole them from a mortuary where she works, so he didn't. I don't think he killed anybody, so it's all right, guys. It's fine. He didn't kill anybody.
Taking legs.
A little body parts. So you're telling me the body parts I have hanging up right now are illegal because I, stole them? Like,
Shut
what's
up
up with that? They didn't need them.
That guy stinks there too.
I dug them up.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna dig them up.
It would probably smell horrible. That's a common misconception as well. Ed Gein from Wisconsin. That man wasn't a serial killer. He only killed 2 people. He robbed his as well. So both of them had like minds. But Ed Gein was cooler and he made things out of them. This guy just had him hanging. That's not cool. Like, what's the aesthetic purpose of that? Like, if I'm gonna have the trouble of the bodies in my house, I might as well make a lampshade out of it because that's fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking in a psychopath terms of like, this would be cool to have. Like, I don't know.
I think you have.
Maybe I'm going too far with this,
issues, buddy.
I think I might have some issues. Just kidding. Don't do this. I'm thinking in the point of view of a serial killer. No, that is awful and horrific. The smell was probably very, very bad. I think that's probably what got him caught.
Should I ride my one wheel right now?
I don't think that'd be a good idea.
Should I ride it across here really quick?
I don't know.
Think I should do that?
No, probably a bad idea.
Yeah,
you could knock the camera off and expose all the body parts that are off
Yeah,
camera.
you're right. Yeah.
Be careful with that, huh? But anyway, so everything comes around to body parts and shit. But that guy, very fucked up, and just goes to show that stuff like that still happens. I don't know. Pretty gross. The smell. The smell is what would get to me after a day,
Yeah, you know what would get to me is just having fucking body parts in my home. No, get out.
That'd probably be pretty bad.
Gross. Someone's bringing over body parts, they can leave. How about that?
I don't know what it is, like America's fascination with serial killers, because I'm deeply fascinated by it, but I would never want to see a picture of that or even be anywhere near that because that's horrific. I'd like to say I joke around a lot, but anything I said, I didn't mean that seriously, obviously. So please don't come and arrest me, ATF, and check my internet history.
ATF? Why specifically them?
Well, they're the ones that listen, and the FBI doesn't give a fuck about you. The ATF, they're wiring in. That's what they do.
They're wiring in, yeah.
Yeah, that's what they do. Paul, can you tell me a little bit? Because I wanted to ask you your prediction on the new UFC. Which one was it? The UFC 291? Is that what you're looking for? Ferguson versus Green.
Can I talk about UFC 290 first, though? That happened this past Saturday, and then we'll go to 291.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's do that.
So, for the people listening that don't like fighting or the UFC, you could skip ahead here about 5-10 minutes if you want.
You could do that, but I don't know, man.
I recommend you listen, though, because you might learn something cool. So UFC 290 was sick. I didn't get to watch it when it happened. I had to watch it the next day or kind of in chunks because I was celebrating the 4th of July late with my family. I was up north. But anyways, first off, let's start with the main fight. Volk versus fucking... Oh, what's his name? Yair Rodriguez.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just throwing out names.
Well, his name is Alexander Volkanovski, but Alex...
Oh, okay. Retarded.
He defends his belt again. Dude's insane. He just needs to go up and seal the deal with Islam. But he's cleaned out that division. So, and he continues to do that. Like, he just beat the interim champion. Volk's crazy.
What division is this?
Featherweight. He's been the featherweight champion. He was on like a 22 fight win streak, and then he lost. He went up to 155 to challenge for the belt at lightweight and lost very narrow decision. I do think if I rewatched it again, I think Makhachev just barely won the fight, but he still did win on the scorecards, I think, on a round by round basis. But I wanted Volk to win, and I bet you Volk might. I don't know, man. Islam Makhachev's sheer size for lightweight is crazy. Volk's a small guy. Like, he's short, little bald guy, He's got really good ground and pound.
What's short in that? Like 5'8", 5'9"?
Dude, let me...
I'm sorry, I'm just curious.
When
I inquire.
He's short for just in general, but featherweight, let's see.
I feel like they'd probably be like 5'10", right?
He's 5'6".
It's short, man.
But,
that is very. And what does he fight? He's the guys.
But he's a bulldog. He fights at 145. He fights at featherweight. Okay. He's a little dude. He used to be like a 200-something pound rugby player. But he started off as a welterweight, obviously, to slim that. Like, it takes a while to get down to that size, But he's also a short guy. I mean, Islam Makhachev's like, where's that short bald guy hat? Because he's just like, he's making fun of him because Makhachev's huge for lightweight.
Yeah.
He's
like what?
He's easily going in at like 180 or 175 after the weight cut, dude. Like, he's or something, because he's crazy tall and just got a wide stature for that division. Anyways, Yair Rodriguez, Volk fight. Volk's crazy. We all know that. Volkanovski's fucking nuts. He's good. We'll see what happens next. Dan Hooker beat Jalen Turner via very close decision, in my opinion. Dan Hooker redeems himself, dude. Dan the Hangman Hooker. He was kind of he'd be like win lose. He's on a few loss streak, and then he wins via decision. And I think everybody thinks it's a body double. Like, it isn't Dan Hooker, it's Stan Hooker, because he dyed his hair blonde. So like, he looks entirely different this fight, just with the blonde hair. Everyone's like, that's not Dan Hooker, that's Stan Hooker. But basically, everyone's saying he redeemed his chin because he was getting flatlined lately. Like, it wasn't going well for Dan Hooker. But it was cool to see him win at lightweight.
Nice.
Dan Hooker. His hair was literally red at the end, covered in blood.
Just from blood?
Yeah.
That's gnarly. That's cool.
Bo Nickel. My dad's listening. Dad's a big fan of Bo Nickel. He's a wrestler out of Penn State, out of Pennsylvania. He's in the UFC. He's 5-0 in pro MMA, so he does not have a big record. Honestly, a lot of people are surprised the UFC signed him with such a short pro record. He only had like 3 wins, 0 losses, 3 fights total.
Damn.
Yeah, in the UFC, but it's because he's like a wrestling phenom. So I think he was on Dana White's Contender Series, wins that, has his UFC debut, wins that, submits dude in the first round. I think this was his 3rd fight in the UFC now, but Bo Nickel, he got a last-minute switch of opponent of some local guy because he was actually supposed to fight some competition, I think. He literally, he doesn't wrestle the guy. He knocks the guy out in 38 seconds of the first round. Flatlines him.
Yeah.
There's like a combo. Bo Nickel's got hands too. So it's crazy to see him fight. Couple more on 290. I have to talk about Robbie Lawler, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys have heard anything about MMA, you've probably heard of the name Robbie Lawler. All right. He just retired this last weekend. He got a knockout ironically, he did this before the Bo Nickel fight because his fight was before it. Got a knockout in the first round at 38 seconds as well. The same as Bo Nickel on the same card. Both fights in a row had 38-second knockouts. This was kind of crazy.
That's pretty cool.
But Robbie Lawler came into this fight saying it's his retirement fight. He knocks the dude out in 38 seconds, puts a stamp on his retirement, which is really cool to see because, as you know, most of the time when you see people retire, they go out getting knocked out or, like they don't go out in a good way usually. But Lawler did it. And honestly, dude, they have a montage they put on the screen and he's like looking at it while he's in the octagon because he's like had so many crazy highlight reels because he's been in the UFC for like 22 years, or I think was his career. I was tearing up, bro. Like, it was like sad to see because he's such a stoic guy. He doesn't not one for emotion, but he was tearing up too. It was crazy to see because dude like literally lived in the octagon essentially, which is kind of cool. Not many go that long and have a good career that long. He's like 40, I think, 40 something.
Damn, that is very old. Yeah. Yeah, not a long shelf life for those people.
Yeah.
Honestly,
And
the way it
then
is.
Marino lost Brandon Moreno lost his flyweight belt. Okay. The guy already had 2 wins over him. I wanted Brandon to win. And you know what's gonna happen? Brandon had the belt. Davison came back and took it. Brandon took the belt back from Davison. Davison moved up, so Brandon's never defended his belt yet, and now he lost it to Pantoja. So he's gonna come back and get the belt again, and never. I swear to God, the dude's never gonna have a title defense because he keeps getting the belt and then loses it the next fight.
Yeah,
that's what's been happening
funny.
to him. But he'll come back. I think he'll come back and get that belt back. But you asked me about the UFC 291, my prediction on one of the fights. As everybody knows, Tony Ferguson was my favorite UFC fighter, still is. But you know, he's been on. He's old, man. You know, what do you do? People have their slides sometimes. You know, it is what it is. But Ferguson versus Green. Tony's fighting Bobby Green. Okay. Bobby Green's coming out off a knockout loss. Drew Dober. Pretty brutal knockout, but it didn't seem to like fuck him up. He was up and standing like immediately after. He just got caught. You know, Bobby got caught because he does the head movement thing. Here's my theory. We just saw Dan Hooker redeem his chin. Okay. After those fights, I think Tony Ferguson's an underdog on this fight, betting plus 275. Bet on Tony. I know he's old, but I think the right Tony's going to show up to this. But also, I think Tony's going to win via submission.
No, he's not.
I think Tony's going to win because if Dan Hooker can redeem his chin, Tony can. You think Tony's going to lose?
You want that action?
What do you think? How do you think Bobby's going to win then?
I don't got anything, but I think Bobby's going to win. Just to spite you. I'll got $5 on that action right there. You're going down, Buster.
I don't care if I lose. $5?
Yeah.
Okay, virtual handshake on it right now.
All right, yeah, I know this is the podcast. This seals it in.
It seals it in.
Let's just do a bet in podcast.
Yeah, but you need to tell me. How about this? Let's make it interesting.
Okay.
$5 depending on who wins, but also another $5 if you get by what way and what round.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go round 1 right off the bat. I don't know Bobby Green's expertise.
You know his expertise. You've seen him fight. Hands down, throwing hands, dude. Like
honestly,
he's
probably
street fighter.
I don't know. We can probably go round 1. I'll just go round 1 knockout. Fucking, he throws an overhand right and connects. There you go. That's my prediction.
Okay. You know, for some reason, I feel like you're gonna be fucking right.
No.
For some reason, I feel like Bobby's gonna clip him in like a minute in.
Yeah.
Oh God, poor Tony.
See, you have doubts on your boy already. I have no doubts in my Bobby Green. I know he's gonna win. He's got it. He's got it in the bag.
I like them both. To be fair, I like both Bobby and Tony. So
someone's got to go down.
Yeah. So either one who wins, good for them. But if Tony loses, man, I don't know. Let's see. I think Tony's gonna win via 3rd round submission. He's gonna get him in a Darce or something that he's really good at.
Okay.
He's gonna make Bobby tap. But realistically, outside the bet, I think Bobby's gonna win via decision. I think it's gonna go all 3 rounds, and Tony's just not gonna keep up. That's what I think. But
we'll have to wait and see.
Because I'm not saying Bobby can't knock people out. He just doesn't have knockout power per se. Like he does, but he doesn't. I mean, he knocked out Ali Quinto or knocked him down with a jab and then finished him. So I don't know. Yeah. So 10.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
5-5, but if someone might be 0-10 if they get the round in the finish right.
Nah, I'll be all right. I'm not worried about it.
You'll lose.
I can't front that type of cash, so if I lose, I am fucked.
Yeah, you can't front that. Yeah, and he needs money to buy a new car. The Buick's about to blow.
Yeah. Hey, but the service engine light comes on and off sometimes. It's off right now, so. Great, good shape.
Just drive it till it explodes. But I'm gonna tell you this right now, Jackson. You're gonna have a hard time killing that fucking thing. You think it's bad? That motor's like literally bulletproof, dude. It's gonna be making noises. There's gonna be fucking steam coming out and stuff. Before it fucking blows.
Before it blows, I'll know. Yeah, I'm not too worried about that.
But what I'm saying is, like, you have a 3800 Series 2, dude.
Yeah, it'll just wild. It'll just keep kicking.
Yeah, you keep pouring
Yeah.
fluids in it, check your fluids, it'll keep going. There's gonna be
Yeah.
hoses like flapping out the front that are shooting smoke out of them. You get vacuum
That's
leaks.
good. That's
It's
great.
gonna
That's
be
fucking awesome. You know what else is pretty awesome? Can I swap topics? Are we done
yeah,
with UFC? We're good.
yeah.
I've been watching a lot of shark videos lately. Like people just swimming up to sharks and filming them, dude. They're gnarly. People do it at midnight. They'll film a fucking like tiger shark
Is it night
swimming, dude. It's
vision?
terrifying. No, dude, because it's like they have lights in their water, so you don't need
Oh,
night vision. You could just see it.
that's scary.
Horrifying. That shit is the most scary thing I've ever seen. And it's cool because there's so many small YouTubers, like under 10K subscribers, that have like museum quality footage that are their own shit because they're just like scientists filming sharks. And man, that shit is terrifying. And like the way that great whites like extend their, because if you look at a great white, its front teeth are like aren't visible until it wants to bite. So it comes out of its mouth, dude. Oh man, that shit's terrifying. But on the reverse flip side of that, I saw a video of one getting beached, and it was just laying there dying, and it was very sad. So I have a lot of empathy for these
Yeah,
sharks,
but
but I
you
also
hate
hate them.
open water. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I hate them.
Dude, if I see a
Fuck them.
shark, I don't care if it's being friendly or not. It probably isn't. It's getting
Nah,
blasted. I'm just gonna dump
nah.
it. Like,
He was on the beach all fucked up. Poor little guy. You gotta drag him
oh,
back into the
well,
water.
yeah. If there's one suffering like that, someone should just get like a little plow and just push him back in or something. You know,
I don't know, man. Like maybe you
get him
should
in the
get the
bucket
fucking
and drop him in the water.
you should get the Remington and just figure that out.
Put it
You
out of
know?
his misery. It
Yeah,
depends. If
honestly.
fucking seagulls and shit have been eating him while he's flopping around, then yeah, put him out of his misery.
I
But
think it'd be funny to try to put a beach whale out of its misery. You just keep blasting it. It won't die. It just won't
you're shooting
die.
it with a
Poor thing.
22,
Yeah, poor. Oh my god, dude, that'd be so fucked up. Poor thing.
a single
You
shot
shooting its eye.
22.
Yeah. You're reloading it every single
It
time.
won't die.
Oh, that'd be fucked. It just won't die.
You gotta imagine a whale skull's got to be pretty thick, right?
Oh yeah. I don't think in any way you're puncturing that.
With a
They're
22.
like the biggest mammal. Yeah, no, there are some big ass things. I noticed that they're not on the endangered species list anymore. At least the humpbacks are. The great whites and shit. There's a lot of them in the waters. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
so it's good because we went down to like 8,000 years ago, and then we went back up because we were hunting it for oil and stuff.
Well,
But
you wanna know what's crazy? And I think this is true. I heard this somewhere. Is like a lot. All things in the water are typically near shores. Like there's nothing really out in the center. You know what I'm saying?
wait, say that again.
So like
I wasn't following.
oceans and stuff, like
Yeah.
maybe doesn't make sense. Maybe I'm just too fucked up. But all fish and stuff like stay
Mhm.
near shores. They don't. There
Oh,
not
yeah,
a ton
no,
of
it's
shit
true.
like out in the open, like center, like of the
Mhm.
water. Really, I guess
That's
I don't
not
know if
like
that's
big
true.
as hell.
Yeah,
Or some kind of, you know,
because I think near
Leviathan.
the shore is where all the food is. Like
Mhm.
fish tend to stay over there. But
See, I'm getting sick of exploring space. We should be exploring this water a little more. I mean, forget about the ocean gate shit. I don't care about those guys, but I
okay.
want to see some cool ass leviathans, like some monsters. You know, there's got to be something down
Huge
there. Can we find
angler
that?
fish.
Yeah, huge ink. Nah,
Was
fuck
it
that.
you
That
that
seems
sent me
lame.
the videos of like big fish coming up out of nowhere?
Probably.
Where
Is
it's
it?
like
It probably.
really dark and then all of a sudden there's a fish and
Yeah,
it's like
that's
gonna swallow you. What the hell is
that.
that? That's
That's
scary.
that is a video designed to terrify people with thalassophobia, and the lassophobia is fear of open water. And
Yeah.
then I there's another one called submachine phobia, which is boats and man-made objects partially submerged, and it is real. Let me tell you, boy. Let me tell you. So hypothetically, if there is like a fucking ship, like okay, in Duluth, there's that ice house in the harbor right near Canal Park. You know what I'm talking about? That is my nightmare. That is my waking nightmare, being on that thing. Because there's something about man-made objects being in water that just terrifies me. Boats, I don't like it. I do not like it.
Yeah.
Remember one time I stood next to a boat, like a yacht that was out of water, and that shit nearly made me pass out. You know how big those fucking things are? It's disgustingly big. I don't like it.
I like boats.
I hate boats.
I probably will never own one just because they're so damn expensive to maintain, just have. But I would love like a mini yacht. like a tiny yacht that's got a little downstairs. Like my buddy Jacob's got a cool yacht. I'd love to have him on the podcast if you never knew it, but
Hmm.
he's Jacob. You know Jacob. But I would love that little. I'd love the little yacht he has. You can go down in
He
there.
has a yacht?
It's a small one. You can go
Oh,
down in
okay.
it, and it's got a TV and a little like seating area that's like a U shape. It can sleep 2 beds, I think.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I stayed on Madeline Island back in the day. My buddy's grandma had
Thought you didn't
fuck,
fuck
I
with
should talk about
boats.
that too. That was funny. No, it was like when I was like 8 and we never took it out. It just sat in the harbor
Oh yeah.
because it was like, I don't know, seas water was shitty or something, but
Yeah.
I think we took it out maybe once, but I didn't ride it. That was terrifying. I did not like that. Sleeping on it was fine, except for going on the rowboat to get to Madeline Island kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Not really rowboat, but getting hair in my face. But anyway, let's talk about the trauma that I got from Madeline Island that trip when I was like 12.
Okay. Yeah.
It wasn't terrible, but Madeline Island, I don't know if y'all have been there. It's part of the Apostle Islands. Have you been there, Paul?
I have
Before?
not. I know where it is.
Okay, so it is an island. The only way it's accessible is by boat. There's no bridge, nothing like that. It's got, people live there. It's got a convenience store, very small.
Oh, is
It's
that
kind
like
of,
in Wisconsin?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the type of island that you could probably get to the other side of it
So
in
I
like
think I know
15
someone's
minutes.
family that lives there.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to live there. People are weird there. First of all, they're rich. They're either rich old people or yuppies, and I hate either. I'm just kidding. Actually, I take rich old people over yuppies any day. But lots of yuppies. It's kind of a weird cult feeling. Me and my buddy didn't like it particularly. There, they did a good ice cream shop, but it got that weird cult vibe. Like you guys ever see Hot Fuzz? If you just watch Hot Fuzz, have you seen that, Paul?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I know a
Hot
thing or
Fuzz.
two about Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, it's that type of vibe. Everyone's kind of on the cult thing, but man, I don't want to say his name, but I guess it doesn't really matter. I think I said it before, but the buddy I went with, his grandma was a bitch. Let me tell you, man, she was mean to me. She was not nice to me,
Really?
like very verbally abusive to me the entire time. I didn't say anything much, but she would literally say shit like, because I couldn't ride a bike, and she'd be like, "Oh, I still can't ride a bike. Fuck you. I don't care. I don't want to learn. Fuck bikes." But she'd come up, she'd be like behind my back, but I could hear her like, "Oh man, I can't believe you can't ride a bike. Kind of what a loser kid." Or his parents messed up, they failed. And that was the trauma of the entire ship trip right there. It was like, what the fuck? I guess it wasn't really trauma, but
Well,
it was just one of those things.
you know what it reminds me of, and I don't even care if he sees this because we're not really friends anymore. But I had we'll just call him Alex, even though that's not his actual name. But I had a friend named Alex growing up, and he was cool. Like I liked him hanging out. Like mom and dad didn't really like having him over because he's really hyper, or like he was when he was younger. He was just a little too crazy. But I went to Valley Fair, and his dad brought us, and like his like Alex's sister and like a few other family members, and his dad was just so mean. Like his parents were divorced, so I'd only
Mhm.
ever really met his mom. His mom was very nice, always super nice, but his dad was so fucking mean, dude. Like just like I don't even know how to explain it, but he was just always rude and always very snapping with like not even just me, but everybody.
Mhm.
But no, that when you brought up the grandma being mean, it just reminded me of that. Like I was at Valley Fair, and I think I asked to go to the bathroom, and like to go over there. He's like, no. He's like, everybody always has to go to the bathroom. He's like, you can wait till we all need to go. I'm like, Jesus Christ, let me go take a piss, dude. Like, and
What
it
an
was shit, it
asshole.
was shit like that. Like
Mhm.
we went to McDonald's after or some fast food restaurant, and then I asked if I could get this because like I had my money from mom and dad to use, and he was like, no,
Mhm.
everybody's getting the same thing. He just ordered everybody like $1 cheeseburgers, just one, like or whatever, which is fine, like whatever. I'm not
Yeah.
complaining, like, but I was
I
like,
have
I have
money
my
though.
money, yeah,
Huh.
it's fucking
Yeah, no,
weird.
I've definitely had a lot of instances with trouble with friends' parents. Like one time like it was like the second time I was at my buddy's house. We were at elementary school. In elementary school, you're like, I'm gonna run the water and they'll think I wash my hands, but I'm not gonna wash my hands because I'm a little kid and I'm retarded. I don't know no better. And I did that, and I step out of his bathroom and walk down the hallway, and the first thing his dad says is, "Did you wash your hands?" I'm like, "Yeah, you didn't just run the water, did you?" And I'm like, haha, no, I watched him. And I sat down at the table and I'm like, there's no fucking way he knew that
He
I didn't
knew.
wash my hands. That door was locked. There's no way.
He
There's
knew.
no way. How would he know?
He knew.
How would he know? I still think about that. He must have known, but I
He
got
knew.
called out hard. But yeah, the rest of the time he was nice to me. Man, I've seen some wild shit at friends' houses. I've seen domestic abuse right in front of me, like people get knocked out, dude, and shit. Like not even joking, like crazy,
At
crazy
some
shit.
friends' houses, I've seen heroin use,
Yeah.
growing up, heavy drug use, and just horrible parenting overall, like just not caring what your kid does,
Hmm.
and not good stuff. But I also didn't know what I was seeing at the time. Like I had no clue what I was
Yeah,
seeing, and now I know
I
what I
couldn't
was seeing.
process it either as well. I wasn't scared because I couldn't process what the fuck
Yeah.
was really happening. But looking back, it was like, yeah, he definitely just punched her in the fucking face and like split her lip open. Like
Yeah.
that's not cool. Like you should
You fucking bitch! No, I'm just
hey,
kidding.
just yeah.
Yeah.
I know, guy, dude. I know she overcooked the lasagna, but you can't slam her face into the fucking wall. You
You
can't do that.
that.
Like that's not allowed. I get it, man. I get it. She's
I get
nagging,
it.
but you
She
can't
fucked
do
up
it.
the lasagna.
You can't stab her with the fork 37 times and dump her body off a fucking bridge. You can't do that shit. It's not how life works. Terrible, terrible stuff, man. It's just awful. I'm not a fan. Not a fan at all. But yeah, I guess I don't know. I don't have any more childhood trauma or domestic abuse stories. I'm all out of those. Sorry, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
can't think of any
Maybe
right now. I'm sure there's
maybe I'll
more.
get some more for you next time, next cast. I'll seek out a little bit domestic abuse. But you know, I saw Paul. Tim Dillon is doing a comedy tour. Do you know who Tim Dillon is? I think you
Yeah,
kind of
I
know
don't
who he
really
is.
like him.
All right. Well, you are homophobic. That's why. Paul is a faggot hater, and I don't understand the reason, but
I
it's
am
just the way he
not.
is.
I am not.
I am frankly
Absolutely
fucking
not.
embarrassed to be on a cast with you. I'm just kidding. No,
I
he's
accept
pretty funny.
everybody.
I think he's spicy, but the downside is he's not coming really to the Midwest, but more so than that. I thought about it. I'm like, why would he come to Minneapolis? You know, why would any good comedian come to Minneapolis? Have you noticed that? When's the last time a good comedian came to Minneapolis after they ran
Josh
Chappelle?
Wolf's coming to Minneapolis in September.
Oh, I'll rephrase it. Any good comedians coming to Minneapolis?
You've
I'm
seen
just
him.
kidding.
Have you seen him
No,
on
he's funny.
PKA?
No, I meant big comedians. Actually, no, he's funny. I've seen him. I've
pretty funny.
PKA. He's had like 8. I think I've literally seen them all. I do like him. I think he's good shit. But like bigger ones, I guess.
I know what you mean.
After Chappelle got ran out of town with pitchforks, the angry mob. You know, I feel like
Who
why would anyone come
cares?
back to play?
Yeah.
I know, but it just seems like it's easily a repeatable thing. With the state of that place, but I think there'll be cooler comedians around. That's one thing I haven't been to really, except for the Steve-O show, which kind of sucked. I'm gonna be real. The Steve-O bucket list tour was like a 4 out of 10. Very sucked. Man, Steve-O was pissed off the whole time.
You know who just went and saw Steve-O?
Who?
Kryptonite.
Oh, neat. No shit.
Yeah,
Oh
he
yeah,
saw
he's
him.
doing the Australian thing. Oh,
Yeah,
did he see him? Oh, guess
UK.
Bam wasn't around.
he's
Damn,
in
that'd be
England.
cool. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he had Bam Majera with him
That's
for a little
hilarious.
bit, and Dave England. Dave England was there at the Duluth show.
Oh,
But
okay.
I was
You
saying,
said
I
he
guess
was
I haven't.
pissed off.
Oh yeah, dude. At least Joe was there too, and Glenn. At least I'm not even exaggerating. 10, 12 times he would stop the show and be like, "Stop yelling out," because the only people that go to Steve-O shows, there's about 10% normal folk. I would say I'm maybe in the normal folk, but decently, at least not a cousin fucker like the other 90% of them are.
Yeah.
And it was the lowest bottle, like scrape of the barrel, just grunge people. And they just kept yelling out shit. And it was very distracting because when he's trying to give a monologue, a funny stand up, and he's just like, he literally is like, if you do it one more time, I'm going to walking out and I'm fucking done. I'm not even joking. He said the exact words. I'm like, well, don't yell, somebody, please. And no one did. But it was like, I don't know, man. It was like 10 times where he stopped the show and told everyone to shut the fuck up. And it was somewhat well warranted, but the amount of angry he was, I don't know, maybe not as warranted. That's just my opinion on it.
Well, what do you expect? He wants to do all those drugs and shit he can't do anymore. He's probably a, I'm not gonna lie.
He is a
He
dick.
rubs me as one of those people that's probably just a fucking asshole. He was nice to me that one
That
time I met him years ago, but
the interaction I had with him, all he said was, I just yelled out Steve-O because he was 10 feet away from me and it was literally no one. He was skating. He's like, I wasn't going to ask for a picture. I just want to shake his hand. And he's like, come take a picture. He's like, just come do it. That's all he said. And then I took a picture, and he's like, "All right on, man. Have a good day." I walked away. And yeah, I could see him being a dick without a doubt. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, I've seen him on his podcast kind of call people out just for smoking weed and drinking alcohol. Guess what,
Really?
Steve-O? Not everyone needs to huff fucking paint thinner. Do you know that, right? Like, not everyone's a drug addict like
Well,
you. But
I get. Does he call people out that are on the show doing it in front of him?
no,
Oh, okay. He just calls out
they're not
people in
doing it in front
general.
of him.
Well, he's just
Yeah.
an asshole. I would say, oh, maybe it would be rude if you go on his show and you do that stuff in front of him, knowing
Well,
that
yeah,
he's
no
like a
one's doing
recovering
that.
addict.
But they're in a van. They're like you're like 2 feet
Yeah,
from Steve-O. I wouldn't do that. I could
yeah.
probably beat him up though. Just saying. Just
Um,
saying.
yeah.
YouTube boxing meets
You know,
Steve-O.
it doesn't really surprise me most celebrities become assholes. I mean, a lot of them do.
Well, maybe they're assholes beforehand, but you mean I think about it. People who typically are in positions of power have this psychopathic tendency, which doesn't necessarily mean they're killers. It just means they lack empathy and they have more of a higher drive. And same with lawyers and type of shit. It's just a different wiring where they lack that empathy and don't give a fuck as much. It doesn't mean
Yeah,
they have that edge and they can be assholes, but that's kind of what you need to be in certain positions. Like Ellen, I no one ever thought Ellen was a bitch until that shit started coming out, 5 years ago, where like
yeah,
Ellen's a cunt, and but I think you kind of have to be a cunt in some scenarios to get to positions of power like that.
yeah,
Um, so it makes sense, honestly, that a lot of them are cunts, but then again, it's not everyone has to be. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Who do you think? What artist do you think that's a cunt? Like, it just rubs you wrong, where you're like, this guy's probably an asshole, but I have no
Artist
basis
or
off of that.
celebrity in general?
But either anybody that's mainstream or anything,
Vince Vaughn.
I could see that. I don't know. Maybe I think he'd be
Mainly
a little
because
nicer.
I'm pretty sure, and I'm sorry I'm stealing the story from a buddy of mine, Ryan, but I'm pretty sure he's the one that told me this. He saw Vince Vaughn at a Twins game, and he
Okay.
was like, "Hey, Vince Vaughn," and Vince Vaughn was just like, "Fuck off."
No, he
Not
didn't.
even joking.
Ryan, really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Uh,
That's funny.
yeah. It wasn't the Ryan you know. It was a different Ryan.
Oh, okay.
But
That's
uh,
still very funny.
yeah, I think he was maybe drunk. I don't know, and I don't know if that's even true. But something tells me he's probably kind of a dick.
It
Um,
could have just been a guy that looked like Vince Vaughn a little bit. And you just call it that for no reason.
I don't know. I
Mhm.
don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
honestly.
it's just some guy. He's always getting mistaken for
It's
Vince
it's
Vaughn.
it's like the drummer for Red Hot Chili Peppers, whatever that guy is. I'm not Will Ferrell.
Yeah,
Fuck, god damn it. Whatever that
yeah,
guy, Chad
yeah.
something, with Chad Smith maybe or something.
That's funny.
Yeah, no, that is good shit. Fuck, I just had a celebrity, but then I lost my train of thought. But yeah, Steve-O definitely looks like he'd kind of be an asshole.
Who do you think's
Who
an
else?
actual nice guy?
Who do I think's a nice guy?
Because I would say, and you'd be surprised, I think most MMA fighters are actually nice guys
Yes, I
outside the
think
cage.
you have to be in sort of some aspect, but you just learn respect in any type of fight. And I mean, I could tell from firsthand, I learned a lot of respect. Maybe you didn't, Paul, but I feel like you kind of already had it beforehand. But at least I did in a time that I needed it. So I don't know. I think I could definitely see that making sense. Who would be a nice guy? Immediately comes to mind is Javier Bardem. Also Anton Chigurh from No Country
Yeah,
for Old Men, the
he seems
killer.
like a nice
I feel
guy.
like he's gonna be like a nice guy. You know who probably wouldn't be a nice guy is Jamie Foxx. I feel like he's an asshole.
Yeah,
I feel like
probably.
Leonardo DiCaprio is also kind of a dick. But you know who definitely is an asshole? Tom Hanks. That guy
Oh yeah,
is an
Tom
asshole.
Hanks is an
Is an
asshole.
asshole. Do you know, Paul, one time in like 1999, he once pretended to be mentally handicapped, then filmed himself, and then sent
Yeah,
it to the Academy Awards and won an Oscar? Isn't that wild? It's pretty fucked up.
yeah. You know, as much as I love Joe Rogan, sometimes he can come off. I think sometimes he can come off as snobby or as like
Yeah.
not really empathetic for certain things. But it's also like I feel like he doesn't all that often because I think he does a lot of the time remember that he comes from a, he was lower income. His dad wasn't around from what I remember.
hmm
Um, what do you think of that? Do you think Joe Rogan? I think Joe Rogan
I
generally
think
probably is a nice guy, or at
I think
least he
he is.
tries to be. But there is some definite things he can say that are just like come off as just like, oh, come on, man. Like I think he went through the same shit in a way, but
Yeah,
and
I
I don't
think
have
he
an
just
example, of course.
me
And
neither,
I'm not
but
shitting on him, but I have heard, I've listened to his
I
stuff a lot, and
I think the money aspect, whether you like it or not, is going to
it does
change
change you
you
a little bit. Yeah.
because neither of us know what it's like to have money, not yet, that is, but we'll get there. So I guess we'll wait and see really how we feel. But I really hope if I do get money, and I'm talking like exposable income, like buying stupid shit, and that's one of my topics is what would you buy? But um I just worry that I would change. But I gotta wait till I get there and see what happens. But I could very well see him having kind of dumb opinions. But I think he's overall pretty neutral. Who else gets a lot of hate, and I get shit on all the time for liking him, is Alex Jones. He gets a lot of hate, but he's just misunderstood, man, a lot of times. And I don't agree with the Sandy Hook shit, right? Again, I'm not defending him on that, but a lot of the shit he did say was true. Not Sandy Hook, not that. A lot of other shit he said was true. And he's just a very interesting person that seems like he has goodwill rather than negative. Because I watched all of his Joe Rogans and a lot of his daily or excuse me, fucking now I lost train of thought. What's his
Alex
podcast?
Jones. Oh, I don't know what his podcast is called.
Fuck, that's gonna drive me crazy.
Infowars.
Infowars, yes, that is. I watched some of that. It's funny. I do like the conspiracy theory aspect. 'Cause I'm not saying I believe in it, but I think it's fun when he rants into it. And he doesn't know a lot of shit about that. But the one thing that sold me on him immediately was the fact that he called out Epstein's Island and knew Epstein owned it like 10 years ago. And no one said shit. And then it just comes out that this is a thing. And I'm like, wow, that's very neat, actually, that he totally knew that.
Yeah.
There's videos of him talking about it. So a lot of other shit that I can't think of. But yeah, I'm an avid Alex Jones enjoyer. I feel very,
I don't have a problem with him, but I don't know.
I don't go around talking that I support him, but I
Yeah.
do mention to some people that, hey, it's pretty funny if you listen to Joe Rogan podcast with Tim Dillon. That's pretty funny.
Oh, I think I've seen that one. I don't know. Tim Dillon, you know how I told you I wasn't really into Theo Von, and then I started watching Joe Rogan with Theo Von and more Theo Von stuff, and I was like, damn, I actually kind of like this guy. And then maybe I'm the same way with Tim Dillon, because I have seen his stuff though, and I haven't really liked him, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I think he's good.
I have this story. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to real quick before we get out talk comedians. I do want to hear a story. Theo Von, they banned the episode with Roseanne Barr on YouTube, which is a very good cast. It's like 3 hours long. They banned it because Roseanne Barr made a sarcastic joke in the terms of I'm gonna butcher in the exact quote, but it was in the likeness of the Holocaust never happened, 20 million people never died. But she was saying that sarcastically
and she's
because
Jewish.
before that she was talking about internet like fallacies and how they headlines and all types of shit. And YouTube took that off. It's still on Spotify and everything, but it just, gives another middle finger to creators. And it's a scary thing when a platform, and especially with even the political climate, like how they can just decide what's news and what's not, and what you're going to see and what you're not going to see, and how obviously social media does dictate elections. But
well, you know how we get that though. It's because it's not state-run media like all of China's is. It's ran by the government. So like, I don't know. We're never gonna not have biased private companies. It's always gonna be that way. Do I think it's a bad thing? Yes. Do I think people should try to think for themselves and just look for other sources that give you? That's the problem, is there isn't really a good source that gives you only the truth. I think Woody from PKA says this well, and it's that you got to look at everything. Look at Fox News, look at CNN, you look at all of them, and then you draw your own conclusions based on what you've found from all those other different points of view,
I use Reddit 4chan. Real quick, it is 7:46. Do you know where your kids are?
Shut up.
Remember that old little advertisement? I like those.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, you had a story, and I want to hear about it.
Yeah, sorry, I'm very out of it, guys, and I'll go into that after my story here, and then we'll probably call it a show. I have this coworker, and he's, I don't know, we have both very different perspectives on life and have come from very different upbringings. And we both like very different things, but we have like kind of the same sense of humor, so we get along pretty well in that aspect. But he didn't believe that you could just own like fully automatic weapons. Like you can in the United States. It's very hard though. I explained to them that you have to have all these tax stamps and certain certificate, and they're expensive. Like I'm not like,
isn't it Isn't it like literally the cost of like someone's average salary a year?
Yeah.
Like, is how much it gets. Yeah,
Well,
it's expensive
to get
to
a
get the
a
form and
gun,
shit.
and then also
Yeah.
the for like everything else, because the guns, you can get like I think I saw like a used in Vietnam M16 was like 60 grand or something like that. Full. I think it had burst and full auto.
60 grand.
Yeah,
And they only go up from there.
yeah, and then like you can get like a Mac 10 for like or an Uzi for around like 20 to 30 grand. You know,
Mm-hmm.
full auto.
Those are cool.
But again, you need all these certain things. You know that like a UMP 45 is one of the hardest guns to get for whatever
Damn.
reason. I don't remember
Suitcase
why.
gun.
Yeah. Anyways, he didn't believe like you could own those things. He just thought like, oh, only the government has them or whatever. He was like, so you could just go walk into a store and get a full auto. I'm like, no, that is not how it works. Like you need to have all this stuff. They don't even sell those at stores. That's like a specialty like dealer or private sale kind of thing. Anyways, so I brought up videos of FPS Russia because I was like, yeah, dude, like AA-12s exist. He's like, for Modern Warfare 2? I'm like, yeah, AA-12s, like you can get that here, like an Uzi. And so I showed him that video of Hickok 45 on the bike with the Uzi, just like spraying it. It's got the suppressor. And he's like, what? He's like, that guy just has that? I'm like, yeah. Like, and then like I showed him the FPS Russia AA-12 video where there's like no recoil on it. He's like, that's fake. I'm like, no, dude, it's real. And it's just crazy like how different, I mean, like he grew up here, but just like how different the perspectives are,
Is he opposed to people owning that? Or is he
it
just
seems
surprised
like
that they
he is.
do?
It seems like he's very kind of anti-gun a little bit, but he's
Mm-hmm.
also hails from a country like his I think he was born here, but I know he spent a lot of time in the country he grew up in, a European country he's from. But yeah.
I think those people, the only thing they want is the guns in the hands of police and criminals. That's it.
No,
Those are the only,
here's what I think it is,
my
because
opinion.
when you come from a country that has like no guns, it's a very foreign thing. It's a very like but why thing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what makes sense to me. And I was talking to our brother Ben about this, and he's right about this. He said, in a country where we're at now with this many guns, taking away guns doesn't fix the problem just because there's so many. There's so many undocumented. There's too many. But he said in countries that already don't have guns and never had guns, then it works. You know what the balance is?
Yeah.
You can't take guns from an already gun-filled society, but if it's already a society that never had guns to begin with in the hands of people,
it's easier to not give it to them.
it's when yes, there's going to be less gun violence, but that's how it works. Yes, no guns there works because there was never any guns. Here, it would be literally like, unless it was like a military takeover, and you would get shot, dude. Like, how many people own guns if you try to like take them from them here?
You gotta.
It's a lost cause. It is what it is.
Yeah, I don't even want to dwell too much on. I literally talk about that topic for fucking days and days and days.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't even think the military would even. They'd be like, well, I'm actually gonna shoot my commander instead because I don't want to take guns from people. So it'd never work. So we're keeping the guns. And y'all are just gonna have to deal with it. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's crazy to me. Yeah, like owning automatic and shit. I honestly would really think it'd be cool just to shoot them. It'd be really fun.
Well, you can. I mean, you can go to like gun ranches and stuff and rent them.
The one we looked at in Cloquet was very expensive, so we didn't go. I mean, I
Dead
could
on
afford
Arms.
it. Yeah, but the rest of the people in my group probably couldn't. But they were just on budgets.
We should go there sometime.
I'm down. I think they'd be really fun. I'd like to shoot guns.
Would they allow us to film in there?
Probably. But if you talk to them, I want like, I don't know. I want to shoot the cool guns, like the RPGs, the grenade launchers.
Remember in Sam's shooting the fully auto Sten?
Oh yeah, that. Yeah, so they had that. I must have had a gun guy with them. That was cool.
Yeah.
That gun is cool. I doubt he owns that, but
no. So we're coming up on an hour here. We're gonna end the show, but I'm gonna talk to you guys about my surgery. I wanted to keep it kind of at the end just because it's a little embarrassing, but and I won't regret saying this, but I am on pills right now. But I do need to I feel like it's informative. People knowing that this is a thing that can happen to people, and to always go to your doctor if you see a bump of some kind that you're not sure of, because I waited a little too long, I think. But I a couple days ago had what's called a fistulotomy. You can Google that if you want. It's pretty gross. And I'll explain to you what that is. Months ago, I noticed a bump on my taint area, and it increasingly got larger, but it also got smaller in size randomly. It would get bigger, it'd get smaller, get bigger, get smaller. I didn't really think anything of it because I thought when it was getting smaller, it was just going to go away. Well, it didn't. It kept going back, going away, coming back, going away. And so I went to a doctor finally after like 4 months of it, and he's like, yeah, you need to go to a specialty doctor because I don't know what this is. And we won't be able to know without some type of scan. So I go in. The lady checks out the area, the lady doctor I had, and she was like, nope, don't need to do a scan. I know exactly what this is. You have an anal fistula. And it wasn't in my ass. It's like on the taint area away from my asshole. However, they can be more invasive like that. Thankfully, mine wasn't like that. Okay. I get my surgery scheduled. It was, it was months after that. I had a pre-op where I go to the doctor. He does my blood levels, make sure I'm good. Before the surgery, like a few weeks before, and then I just had my surgery. It was an outpatient surgery. What that means is same day in, same day out, meaning like I'm not spending the night at the hospital. They're putting me into a deep nap, and they're doing this. They're doing the surgery. So what a fistulotomy is there's a couple ways they can do it. Luckily, they had to do it the main way they do it, the easiest way. Sometimes it can get more complicated because if it's invasive to your asshole muscles, if they fucking cut that, your asshole muscles don't come back. You'll be shitting in a bag the rest of your life. So it's a little, can be a little risky. And if you're listening to this and you think this is gross, metal. I'm sorry, but it's educational, I think.
By the way, I think it is disgusting.
It is gross.
And I don't want to hear it.
So fistulas can form pretty much anywhere in the body, if I recall correctly. They can like grow in between different organs, and basically it's a small tunnel. So it's a small tunnel that bacteria made. And literally the two main reasons people get them is injury or surgery. And I've never had either of that in that area. So I think it's just more so like I had bacteria buildup or something happened. So it's where it starts making another tunnel, basically a second asshole, if you will, almost trying to go out of the other skin.
Basically, all got like pegged.
Yeah, no, I did not fuck off.
That's why.
Anyways, so they can happen anywhere in the body. I had like the anal one, and so what they do to fix that is so your body doesn't heal tunnels well. Like, you've seen those knives that are twisted and they're illegal, but they're the ones that like they tear you to a point where like it's unstitchable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Those are the ones I carry.
Where it's just a tunnel being formed by bacteria that isn't like your body can't heal a tunnel, but it can heal a ditch. So that's what they do is they cut it open and peel it open and stitch the sides. And I just have an open gash on my fucking taint right now. I'm in severe pain. I'm sitting on a donut. I'm in an adult diaper. I'm not even joking. I am, because of just discharge, like blood. Like, and this is the kicker. They thought I had one going into the surgery. I had two.
Ooh,
so they took the other one too. So I have two gashes on my fucking taint. It hurts to sit anywhere. It hurts to walk. I'm
What's
on
the
pills.
probability of them coming back?
Like, I think it's 30 or 40%.
Oh, I don't like those odds, man. That's high.
Surgery's a 90% success rate, though.
So it comes from injury and surgery. So you're telling me this surgery could cause more?
No, it could just cause it to come back. Like, they can just come back. Like, it'll just build another hole. But we'll see. I'm following the instructions. I'm taking the pills. I'm taking all the antibiotics. Like, I'm making sure it's clean so it doesn't get infected, because that's the big thing. Because it's obviously near a spot where I shit. And boy, let me tell you, I went to the bathroom for the first time since the surgery today, and it was not fun. It was not fun. It was very, very painful.
You guys can picture that for yourselves, because I am, and it is awful. So
taking a lot
of
water soaks. It's okay.
I was gonna say drink a lot of water as well.
Yeah, I've been drinking. I have to these pills too. Like, I can see how dry I am. Like, I'm just.
Yeah, that's awful.
So
well, look out for that, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. So if you notice a bump anywhere on your body, please go see the doctor and see him soon. And what I was gonna get to is these eventually can turn into a tumor or cancer. And that's why I got rid of them, or got taken care of, or checked out immediately. Or like, I was just like, okay, let's do the surgery. Like, yeah, it's got to be done. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a fistula or fistulotomy. They split it open. I'm split open. I'm bleeding here. I'm gonna have a fucking ditch in my ass permanently now. It's gonna take like 1 to 2 weeks to recover. Fully heal, they say several months.
That shit bleeding, B.
But shout out to mom though. Shout out to my mom. She got me a bougie donut. She bought me like a super nice Cadillac of donuts here I'm sitting on. It's nice. It's quite nice. I used it on the
I
car
didn't know
ride home.
Cadillac made those.
Yeah, they do. No, I'm just kidding.
Nice.
But it's fuzzy. It's memory foam. Super nice. It's not like an air filled one, which I'm assuming would be horrible, like an inflatable donut. Would be horrible.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to put my mouth on it to inflate it every time.
Yeah.
I think it'd be awful.
It just
I don't
stinks.
wanna. Yeah, it just stinks. Yeah, pretty gross.
Sorry if I grossed any of you out, but seriously, male, female, you got a bump somewhere, get it checked out. You never know what it might be, and you might learn something. You might learn that you have something that's, what is it? Isn't it rare in the United States? Let me look this up again.
It can't be common.
I think it was rare.
You know, but that's one of those medical conditions that you wouldn't hear about because people wouldn't tell you. You know what I mean? So you wouldn't really have a good judgment on that.
Well, yeah, I like to be open about things. Make fun of me if you want. Yeah, it's rare. There's fewer than 200,000 cases a year in the United States, or I think I don't know. It must be in the United States.
See, like if you ask me like the amount of cases like a flu a year, like I'll tell you like 200,000 and I'd be right. But if you like said the amount of like yeast infections, you wouldn't know because women don't talk about that. So you don't have a basis on it.
Yeah.
Just thought about that.
Yeah,
weird comparison.
I also guess it's a sign that people have Crohn's disease, which is what my buddy.
Oh, that's not good.
Which is what my buddy has, and they said though that I don't have Crohn's. Like they checked, like I do not have Crohn's. That would be similar to what our father has, but not exactly the same. Dad does not.
Yeah, damn. The only people immune to Crohn's is Mr. Beast. That's it.
Yeah, because he has money.
No, I'm pretty sure it's because he signed his soul away to the devil.
And I was about to be worried if I had Crohn's. Those people get super thin and super sickly looking. Like they can't keep muscle on or anything because they can't eat anything. So you're just sick all the time. Be good. Yeah.
You probably really kick ass in lightweight though class or something. Like all sickly. The cancer patient fighting in the
dude. I would just. What if I could just cut to flyweight 125?
It'd be pretty cool. What if I just cut to 125 at like 5'11", 6 foot?
I think
I would be sickly. Could, but I'd be
no. I don't think you could. I think you'd have to do bantamweight, dude. 135. I don't think you'd be able to fight at 125. I think you could do the cut.
I could make it.
I think you could make it, but I don't think you could fight.
I don't think I could stand. I might have to start sitting in saunas and wrap myself in blankets.
Anyways, another subject I want to cover. No, anyway, I want to. Okay. I don't want to cut you off.
Sorry, no, you're good.
But don't make purchases on drugs, ladies and gentlemen. It was Prime Day yesterday, and my girlfriend had to tell me to stop while I was high on pills because of the pain I'm dealing with due to my surgery. Prescribed pills.
What'd you buy?
They got me I didn't buy anything, but I was like, I should buy this electric scooter. It's on sale on Prime. I could get a smaller electric scooter. This one I could use. And then she's like, no, you don't need another damn scooter. And I was looking at camera stuff or stuff I didn't really need for the camera. And I was like, nope, can't do it. I was looking at, don't buy stuff. Just don't buy stuff when you're on pills.
Well, that's the best time to buy things, dude. No, I saw, dude, they had the Lego fucking Black Panther, the Wakanda statue. It's 3,000 pieces. They had it half off, dude. It was like,
damn, I wish you would have told me Legos were on sale.
It was like $350 down to like 150 bones. I was like, I almost bought it, but I'm like, I don't have anywhere to put this. You know how tall it is, Paul? It's like 2 feet tall. I think it's fucking big. Thing's gnarly, dude. I almost pulled the trigger, but I also don't like Black Panther that much. Justify it. Like if it was a cooler superhero, I might be on board. Like if it was like a Batman or like a Spider-Man or something.
They do have a Spider-Man statue.
How much?
$20.
Yeah, no, this one was like huge. 2 feet tall, Paul. Oh. This is awesome. This is like 3,000 pieces. 50% off is still on there. It probably sold out. I guarantee you. I bet you it did. But anyway, that was sick. I didn't end up buying anything though. Same with on Steam sales. I was just like, I'm good. I don't play enough games to justify buying anything right now.
I didn't buy anything on the Steam sale. I bought a lot on the PS5 sale when I got the PS5, but I've been really liking UFC 4.
That's fun. Those are good games.
However, there is one thing I am picking up this weekend is I'm getting a 9-inch. I'm getting a tiny CRT. So this is a 13, so it's going to be about a little smaller than this guy. It's a little white Samsung Samsung Triniton, I think. One of the more sought after smaller CRTs. So I'm excited to get that.
Was that the Transformer that killed Optimus Trinitron?
No,
I'm
dude.
pretty sure that's what
Shut
it
up.
was.
Shut up.
No, I'm just kidding. No, that's cool.
But yeah, that's don't buy things when you're on drugs, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I had a girlfriend that was level-headed to tell me no, I don't need those things, and that I should just come sit down and watch a movie.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. That's probably really good.
Well, Jack, go ahead and you're gonna sign us off this week here, pal, because I'm not doing well here.
It has been Gutterball Frame 56. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, I just want to say real quick, if you want to come on the podcast, let us know. Drop it in the comments, email us, DM us on any of the socials. We'll get back to you. Shorts are coming to you daily. Once more, again, trying to get out one a day. At least, I don't know, like 6 days a week for a short. But other than that, I don't really got much for you. Except thanks for watching. The support on the last cast was overwhelmingly positive. We got a lot of views. So thanks to y'all that watched that. I really, really appreciate that. So we love you. Thank you for watching. And that has been Gutterball Frame 56. Paul, anything else? You good?
Like, comment, subscribe. Want to be a guest? Reach out.
Tight. We're signing off. See you later, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching.
Go!